So you finally nailed the whole building a website thing and you're ready to start shouting out about your new business and landing those first paying clients. Now, just like learning to build pretty websites, it's obviously going to take a few practice runs to get you confidently managing client projects like a pro. But there's a handful of super common client handling mistakes that even experienced designers continue to make that could be seriously affecting their businesses. I remember just how frustrating and discouraging it was to try to build my business by trial and error, and so I'd really like to keep you from having to learn a lot of the things that I did the hard way yourself as well. But first, if you're currently scratching your head as to how to land all those dreamy clients you're supposed to be managing, then it's time to take a quick step back and actually fill a very important gap first, and that is how you plan to market your business. I've created a quick quiz just for designers to help you discover which proven client finding strategy matches your personality type. Answer the questions honestly and I'll send you personalized results for which strategy is best for you and your personality, as well as the tips and resources you need for getting started with the strategy that was made right for you. It literally takes just 45 seconds, so grab this link or hit pause on this video. There's also a link in the description below and go take the quiz right now. All right, ready to learn client managing mistakes to avoid? Mistake number 1, making it hard to book you. Picture this. There's this dreamy potential web design client out there. Say they're a photographer. They know they need a website, but they've been so incredibly busy with wedding season and editing that they honestly haven't had more than 5 minutes to actually look into doing this thing. They finally see a quick break in their schedule, and so they sit down and Google Squarespace designer for wedding photographers, and out of the 27 tabs that they now have open on their desktop, they're really resonating with your portfolio specifically. Good job. As well as 2 other designers who also actually have a similar style and vibe though. So, how will they ever choose? Well, more often than not, the next step will make that choice for them. Your competitors have clearly listed all their packages and their pricing right there on their services page with an impossible to miss book now button. But when they click back over to your tab, they can't find the prices or exactly actually what's included in your packages, and the only way to contact you is to email you for a quote. 3 things tend to happen in this situation. 1, they just assume they can't afford you. 2, they can't be bothered to play email tag, so they just don't. Or 3, they do email you, but by the time you get back to them with your pricing list and an option to book a consultation call, they've already moved on to the next step with some other web designer who didn't waste their time playing games. Want your website to land clients for you in your sleep? Make it ridiculously easy for them to commit to those first few steps of working with you. Which brings me to mistake number 2, making it hard to pay you. The sale isn't officially locked down until they've made their deposit. But at this point in their search, you should know that it's 100% possible that they've actually received proposals from other designers they were considering as well. So if your client has to jump through a zillion hoops to get you paid, or you're being asked to enter all their sensitive information into some sketchy looking app that they've never heard of, they may think twice about wanting to work with you and go with what's behind door number 2 instead. Moral of the story, you need to have a convenient way for your client to pay you today. Not 3 days from now when they have time to sit down and figure out how to send a wire transfer. Not 2 weeks from now when they finally get that check dropped in the mail. You want some way to include a button or a link right there on the proposal or the invoice that you're sending that they can click and pay you instantly. This way you aren't being ghosted by clients at the last minute, which definitely happens, or having to hound clients to send you money, which tends to put a strain on the whole client-designer relationship situation. And your bookkeeper, which I'm guessing is probably also you right now, will thank you come tax season, so pat yourself on the back. Speaking of having to hound clients, there's one simple thing most new designers don't know what to do that honestly could save them 95% of headaches that they face with working with clients, and that is to set firm deadlines for every step of the client process. One of the biggest struggles I hear from new designers is that their clients seem all gung-ho and excited about hiring them to build their website, but then when it's time to actually get started on their project, they take forever to get you their content. So now a project that was supposed to take weeks has dragged on for months. Or you send a finished design over for their approval and it's Radio silence for weeks. But then suddenly, a day before you were supposed to launch, they send you a giant list of revisions, which basically means redesigning the whole thing overnight. There is one simple thing that I did to ensure my projects always ran smoothly and they always wrapped up on time. And that was to very clearly communicate from day one exactly what I needed from the client and exactly when I needed it by. Yes, I gave my clients deadlines. I repeated those deadlines in my contract, in my welcome package, in the simple reminder emails that I would send at the beginning of each new phase of the project, so that clients never had to wonder what was expected of them or when we were moving on to the next stage. Oh, and the thing about deadlines, they only work if you actually enforce them, which leads me to mistake number 4 newbie designers tend to make when first getting started and working with clients, which is not having a solid legal contract. The only way to make deadlines non-negotiable is to make it clear in some sort of a legit legal document what will happen if those due dates are not met. So say a client misses the deadline for submitting their photos to you so you can build their website. I can't really move on to building the website without them, but I'm also not going to cut into my next client's time by allowing this project to drag on. So my contract clearly states that if the project is stalled due to a client missing deadlines, then they are automatically sent to the back of the line, and I won't resume working on their project until the next opening in my calendar, which honestly could be months away. And since I could have been using that future slot to book another full-priced design package, there's also a fee to restart the project at a later date. So contracts aren't just about making sure you get paid for your work or that you don't get sued if you mess up their website. If set up correctly, they also protect your time and save you from constantly having to hound your clients for content which really is not fun for either you or them. The other biggest issue many new designers face that can be easily solved with a solid client contract is scope creep. Your contract should clearly outline exactly what is and is not included in your package that the client paid for and what anything outside of that would cost. Maybe their package includes 2 total rounds of revisions, and then after you've made all the edits requested in round 2, they suddenly come back to you with another 50 things that they want changed. You can simply refer back to the contract in that situation that they signed, saying you're happy to add additional rounds of revisions for X number of dollars as stated in your contract. A good contract protects both you and your client in the event of something going wrong with the project and will only add to your credibility as a professional designer. Okay, so mistake number 5 is not having one consistent place where you share and store all of the files for a single project. So we already talked about how frustrating it is for new designers when their clients drag their feet on submitting the content in the first place, but what about when the client sends you 50 photos at 50 different times in 50 separate emails? That's a whole lot of time spent tracking down content before you can even get started on actually building the website. So if you want to totally streamline your process and be able to take on more projects while actually feeling like you're working less, then make it easy on yourself by having one place where all the project files can be easily uploaded and accessed all in one place. I personally loved creating a Google Drive folder for each new client. They could upload their photos and I could share any client homework or pre-design worksheets for them to complete inside the Google Drive. Then, when I did sit down to design, I knew I had everything that I needed for the project ready to go in this one Google Drive folder. So, what's our final mistake for today that we want to avoid? Not setting office hours. When you're first getting started as a designer, it is super tempting to want to make yourself available 24/7. You don't want to miss responding to a new inquiry or answering a client's so-called quick question about their project, so you permanently attach yourself to your laptop, accepting emails and texts and calls at all hours of the day, night, and weekend. But I'm telling you right now, this is not sustainable. You have my 100% guarantee that you will end up burned out, resenting your clients, and honestly just hating your business if you do this, which is the exact opposite of the freedom and joy that you're probably picturing when you decided to start your dream business. So decide the way that you like to work and decide what the perfect business work-life balance looks like for you, and then set office hours to reflect that. Your clients will always respect your time and expertise more, knowing that you yourself believe that your time is valuable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found today's video helpful. If so, please let me know by hitting the like button, and for the best tips on building a web design business that you love, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also tap the little bell button to be notified when new content drops on the channel every single week. Wondering what to watch next? Check out these videos too.